Basic rules of wheelchair rugby: it's played on a basketball court with a volleyball. There are 2 cones at either end, 8 metres apart, and to score a goal you have to carry the ball over the line. I first got into the game when I was in hospital at Stanmore. I had a spinal cord injury playing rugby union, and I was completing my rehab, and I found out that you could play a sport called wheelchair rugby, and I began playing, and that was around about January '98. It was very hard at first, learning to do everything again, you know, washing, dressing, eating, and then getting your strength back, because you're in a very weakened state after you have a spinal cord injury. So then you have to learn how to use a wheelchair, and basically everything just to get you back to where you started. So that was a 6-month process, a lot of hard work every day. When I first trained for London, I arrived at the training venue and saw a lot of like-minded people, so I was pretty excited. They got me in a chair, and the feeling of getting in a rugby chair from the chair that you sit in every day is fantastic. It's like getting in a sports car. I think the Paralympics has progressed massively since it first started in London in 1948. It was initially conceived by a guy called Ludwig Goodman, who was a spinal injuries consultant, and he based it a lot around, you know, rehab, because part of your rehab for a spinal cord injury is sport, and sport is good for that. Obviously it all started off amateur, and then you're making the shift into Paralympians being professional sportsmen. And the biggest shift to make them is that 180-degree turn that Paralympians are athletes who happen to have a disability rather than disabled people having a go at sport. And that's very important for us to get that message across. The Paralympics, we'd always like it to get more exposure. Everyone wants more, but I think it gets very good exposure if you take it on how much exposure we get compared to other countries in the world. The type of Paralympics Britain's going to hold will mirror the Olympics. I think if there's a good Olympics, there'll be a good Paralympics. I think people over here genuinely are interested in sport, in watching it and in seeing what it's all about. Paralympians, say like Tanni Gray and Adia Depitan, they've really moved the sport forward. They've moved the whole Paralympic movement forward because they've actually been media friendly, and they've sort of maybe been stars in their own right, but they've just done a lot for disability sport and the coverage that it has. In terms of the Olympics, I grew up watching it. I grew up watching people win, like when Linford Christie won in Barcelona, and obviously more recently your Steve Redgraves, Kelly Holmes. Those guys kind of embody what it's all about. I think also, you know, you feel bad for some of the guys over the years that haven't done so well or haven't won. Like I remember seeing a guy called Derek Redmond, I think that was also in Barcelona, you know, pulling up in the back straight, and it was heartbreaking because I know the amount of work it takes. You know, so all those guys to even get there, they're already big winners. My advice for young Paralympians would be just to keep going. It's a great life to lead. You know, you're doing something that is good for yourself, good for your body, so just carry on doing it. It's a real cliche, but you're only going to get out what you put in. It's all around work. You know, work as hard as you possibly can, and rewards will come to you. To play sport for your living is fantastic. I always tell people it's better than real work. It's been great. It's been a fantastic journey. Quite often I get moments where I think, you know, this is great. My life's fantastic. Just the places I've been, the people I've met, the way the sport has got more professional, as well as us within the sport, to finding out that there was going to be an Olympics in London, that we'd be the right age and ability to compete in it. It's been amazing.